"This is the most ruthless mother I've ever seen." She actually planned to bury her own daughter alive. The daughter desperately begged her mother to stop. Thick soil quickly covered the girl's small body. Oddly enough, Katie didn't bury her daughter's head. Instead, she placed a bucket over it, leaving her room to breathe. She ordered her daughter to stay quiet. At this moment, Katie's husband, Jack, showed up. He angrily demanded to know where their daughter was. Just as he was about to lift the bucket to check, Katie quickly pulled him away, suggesting they should chase after their daughter. She must have run away from home. Unable to find their daughter, Jack was furious. He wasn't really worried about her, but had sinister motives. Jack, who preferred sons over daughters, had never loved his daughter. When he first became a father, he was thrilled. His wife was very weak after giving birth. Jack didn't say a single word of concern for her. His mind was full of thoughts about a son. When the doctor presented the newborn and congratulated Jack on having a daughter, his face instantly darkened. To him, daughters were worthless. He angrily blamed his wife for not being able to give him a son. After venting his frustration at her, he left without even glancing at his daughter. Katie held their child in her arms, filled with guilt. She was sorry that her daughter had to witness such a terrible father right after being born. Half a year passed. Their daughter grew cuter each day with big eyes and little pigtails. When Jack, who had been away for months, returned home, he didn't look at his daughter even once. He yelled about being starving, and demanded Katie to serve him food immediately. Katie had to hold the child in one arm, while cooking with the other. Meanwhile, Jack relaxed and scrolled through TikTok. Soon, their daughter started elementary school. The school organized a Father's Day event, but only Katie came to represent her husband. The teacher asked the girl why her father wasn't there. To protect her daughter's dignity, Katie told the teacher that her father was very busy. Katie comforted her sad daughter, promising she would always be there for her. At the same time, Jack was out getting drunk, complaining to his friends about how much of a hassle his daughter was, and wishing he could get rid of her. One of his friends, who was a human trafficker, felt delighted and saw an opportunity. He immediately offered Jack $10,000 to sell his daughter to him. They set a time, and Jack rushed home to prepare for the abduction.
Aquí estás, mocosa buena para nada. Por fin me vas a servir de algo.
¿Por qué dices eso?
Te cuento, esposa querida, que me van a dar $10,000 por este estorbo.
No, papito, por favor, no.
¡Cállense! Más vale que la tengas lista a las 2 de la tarde. Vengo por ella. Y donde eso no esté y eso no pase, me deshago de ustedes dos estorbos.
Upon hearing Jack's plan to sell their daughter, Katie had no choice but to hide her in the ground. When Jack left to look for their daughter, Katie took out the savings she had secretly stashed away over the years, planning to run away with her daughter. But when she returned to remove the bucket, her daughter was gone. Suddenly, a police officer appeared and grabbed Katie. The officer had witnessed the entire scene of Katie burying her daughter. After Katie left, he had rescued the girl. He waited there to trap Katie. Seeing the cash in Katie's hand, the officer immediately exposed Katie's cruel plan to sell her daughter. Katie was then taken to the police station. Little did they know, the real devil was now disguised as a loving father and had taken the daughter. Katie frantically begged the officer to release her, tearfully explaining the truth. The officer didn't believe Katie's words. He trusted what he saw with his own eyes. When the next guard on duty fell asleep, Katie, worried about her child, took a risk and escaped from jail. Using a branch, she managed to get the keys from the guard, opened the door, and ran out. She ran with all her might towards home, thinking she was almost there to save her daughter. But she couldn't outrun the police. Just as the officer was about to capture Katie again, they heard Jack's yelling and the child's crying from inside the house. The officer immediately realized Katie was right. When they rushed into the house, Jack had just completed the transaction with the trafficker. His hands were still warm with the money when the police arrested him on the spot. Jack would now take his prejudice and crimes to prison, to slowly repent. Finally, mother and daughter didn't have to live in fear anymore. They were about to see a new dawn. Comment below with good deeds are rewarded and evil is punished. May your love and career flourish this year.